Okay.
See, I don't know the kind work una give me. See, let's use one TV. Off this one. The thing don't they do that thing. Okay, don't get the remote. The same thing is still happening. See, I mean they press this one. The remote control pending. Let's use one, Abi. So that later it will calm down. Okay. Are we good to go? Okay, I welcome you all to this program I'm Mr. Chibike Onyeji from Abia State, Nigeria. And I'll be your tutor for this course. Please feel free to work with me. Are you getting me? Whatever thing that you think is a challenge to you, don't fail to communicate. Are you getting me? And at the same time, exchange your contacts. Try giving your number to your neighbor. You get why. Before we move on, I want to ask, I want to believe that each and every one of us has a basic experience on how to use a computer system, right? Everybody, you have the experience, right? If you don't have, say it now. Another thing, you know how the internet works. Everyone here, you understand how the internet works. Some people are saying yes, and some people are silent. What's going on? Okay. The name of this course is Web Design. That's the name of this course. And from the course outline, you can see it, right? So this is the basic overview of how this course will be. This first week we'll have introduction to web design, and then a designing tool called WordPress. Then we have the introduction proper, the introduction to WordPress, where we learn how WordPress works, the installation, the WordPress dashboard, and then you will have a project at the end. You can see the project, right? So that when I will talk about a project or an assignment, it won't be like, what are they talking about? You can see it's there. Then the second week, we will look at HTML and CSS, where we do the introduction of both and how both works in WordPress. And at the end, you have a project, which is an assignment. Third week, we learn the customization of WordPress themes and things like that, which comes with an assignment. The fourth week, we learn about the plugins and the widgets, which also comes with an assignment. The fifth week, we now have to learn the advanced customization with HTML, CSS, and page builders in WordPress. How we can then integrate HTML codes and HTML templates, as the case may be, into WordPress. Then after that, after that, we go into the last week, which happens to be the final week for the project or for the program, this first cohort. the first batch, we learn about managing or management and then launching your website, which you have designed all through. Where we learn about content management, search engine optimization, security and maintenance, and then the launching proper. And then your final project. So these are the way this training will be. Another thing there is, if there be any changes or if there be any modifications, I won't fail to let us know as we keep up with this program. With that being said, I think we should head over to the first week now. I don't expect us to have any questions since this is the course overview, right? Okay. Okay, this is the first week. Introduction to web design. Someone was asking, I think someone was asking, is it web development or web design? Who asked that question in the group? Thank God you are here. And someone tried to put him through. Who is the person? Someone tried putting you through, right? So who is the person? Or the person is not here. Okay, introduction to web design. We said that web design is the process of creating visually appealing, I think we can see, right? Okay. Appealing and functional website. Now what we are trying to say there is that anything that has to do with web design, it must be created. That's the first thing. No matter how you are using to create it, it must be what? Created. And when people look at it, they should like it. It must be appealing while looking at it. And when we talk about functionality, the behaviors, the interactions, it has to be user-friendly and things like that. Website, you have to do like this before you see where submit button is. Hello. Then it encompasses various elements such as layout, color theory, then the topography, and the user experience. And you learning this course, automatically, you have become a web designer. Hello. You become a what? A web designer. So as you will web designers, raise up your hand. You should be able to raise up your hand. As a web designer, your goal is to create websites that are what? Please stop pressing the system. Those writing, stop writing. I will send this thing to the group. So I want us to flow together. I want us to do what? Now read with me. As a web, what? Your goal is to create a website that does what? And what? Easy to use. And do what? And navigate. All this long grammar now simply means that whatever thing you are creating, it should be pleasing. One, it should be very easy to use. Whether it's even a baby that is using a website you created, the person, new student, okay, come over to this side. Look for a system that has network and attach yourself. Connect here back to this one. Connect it. Cancel and connect again. Okay, let's continue. Sorry for that. So it should be pleasing and easy to use. This is very, very important. Web designer. And navigate. When we talk about navigation here, we are talking about them moving from one page to another, scrolling from the top, which is the header, down to the footer, which is the bottom part of a website. Hello? So, for you as a designer to create something for people to use, it must be pleasing and very easy for them to use. Quite unfortunate that in Nigeria, our institutions in Nigeria, I don't know the people that does their work. I don't know. If we have 150 institutions in Nigeria, I'm talking about high institutions, universities and polytechnics, monotechnics, and colleges. If all of them are 150, about 120 have rubbish and very bad experience websites. I don't know why. I don't know. May God deliver us in Jesus' name. So thank God you are here now. You can submit a proposal to any of the institutions telling them that your website cannot be used easily. That you can create something that they can use easily. Hello? Yes. You can freely submit a proposal to the institutions, as the case may be. Okay, the key principles of web design include what? Number one is what? And this balance has to do with what? Distributing elements evenly on the pages. I will show us what elements are. You know, when we talk about something having a balance, it simply means that thing, whether you look at it from this other end, it must be centered. When you look at it from this other end, it is also centered. So that's when we consider something is now what? Balanced. Because when you check at that thing, or when you look at that thing critically, you find out that from one end to another, the thing is centered. Then the second one is what? The contrast. And the contrast has to do what? Using what? Opposite. To create what? Interest. Now, if I may ask, have you ever gone to a supermarket and you entered the supermarket and then you discover that milk, the listed milk where cosmetics are, can such thing happen? Very rare. Okay, I love that word, very rare. You know that one is shop, it's not supermarket. So everything must have a flow. It must have a flow. It is under must. Certainly have a flow for that interest to be there. Then the next one there is what? Emphasis. Highlighting the important what? Elements. Now, for instance, while filling a form, maybe you visited or you happen to, okay, during the time you were filling the form of this program, you fill from up, right, to the bottom. And then you see a button there called what? Submit. Right? Now, what if that button happens to be at the top? And the button at the top is telling you submit at the top. You haven't filled anything yet. And the button is up, telling you to submit. And you'll be clicking on the button. Will it submit? To wouldn't. You just be throwing one error, as the case may be. And you'll be there. Ogin name website. So it must be highlighting what? The important elements. And as far as if is concerned, it must certainly have a button called submit button. Certainly. Either submit or proceed or next, there must be a button. Then the fourth one there is what? And the consistency has to do with what? Good. Now, this is where those people that do color rioting, you will see somebody is designing something. Started with a basic color, green. Put it green and yellow. As the case may be, maybe golden. And from there, you will see purple from anywhere. Before you know what is going on, you see red. So when you are building something or creating something, all through that project, you ought to be consistent. Whatever thing you are doing, you maintain that flow. You ought to maintain it. It's under must. You ought to maintain it. So that's why when you look at some work, even some graphic designers, they used to do that thing. I don't know. Some of them, if they do designing for you, you will run away. Thank God that there are some sweet coming up now that will give you what you want. Sorry. So you ought to maintain consistency. Then the next one there is white what? So using empty white space effectively to improve what? Now look at this course. Look at this material very well. Let's assume that the number 1. Where is my course for God? Okay. This is the number 1, right? Let's assume this one now is on top of this place. Will you be able to enjoy the reading? Can you even read and understand? So, when doing spacing, mind what you are doing. Now, for instance, you look at 1.1 basis of web design and principles and practices. Now, look at the space in between that subtopic, as the case may be, and the write-up itself and the content itself. Look at the spacing. Can you see the spacing? Now, when we want to go into the key principles, look at the spacing. The upper side and then the lower side. You can see how the spacings are. So when creating, this is some of the things you put into consideration. Because when you create something, it must be appealing. Under must. And when people look at it, they should like it. If you build a website and your client looked at it and he or she doesn't like it, you will go and do the work again. And you don't know. You will go and do the work again now. I wish there is someone here who is already into this field. Anyone here? Okay, you created the words just like that on it. Okay, that's nice. You've worked with HTML and CSS to JavaScript, vanilla, Bootstrap, CSS. Okay, any other person? Have you worked for a client? Oh God. Okay, let me show you something now. Look. From experience, when a client doesn't like what you design, you go and do it again. That fuel is sold at 1,300 and something naira is not none of their business. At the same amount, only those who goes to church or those who truly goes to mosque will consider you. So that's why when you want to build, this thing I'm saying now, they are not in this material. When you are building or when you are creating something for a client, make sure you ask them questions. Hello? That I am a professional doesn't mean that I shouldn't ask my clients questions. Make sure you ask them questions, because asking them questions and getting their view will help you as a professional designer to maximize the unnecessary expenses. Are you getting? So make sure you as a professional designer that you ask questions, possibly or if possible, ask them, do you have a website that you like that I can even look at? Not that you are actually duplicating that website, but you'll be able to get the concept of what you are doing. So that whatever thing you are doing, we follow these key principles. Hello? Whatever thing you are doing, we follow these key principles. Because after building, a client will preview. And if the person is one kind client, while I go there, you will go buy fuel again, because they say there is light in Nigeria. I don't know where the light is. So that is it. So you must mind what you are doing as a designer. Let's go ahead. Now we have what we call user experience and user interface, which is called UI UX. Now, UI UX designer what? Please look at the screen. They are crucial components of what? Of a web design. Now, the reason why UI UX is crucial component. Now, let me say this. Sometimes we think that user experience and user interface has to do only with what the graphical part. We think that is when a designer, maybe a US designer, designs the home page, designs the about page. What page again? Registration, login, contact page, which other page? Maybe services. That is only when we have done the UI UX. No, it's not that way. UI UX is more than a graphical picture. Are you getting me? I was explaining previously that a website you are creating, you should maintain a certain flow. I'm also talking about the user experience. Are you getting me now? So when we talk about maintaining a certain flow, following a certain pattern, your color patterns, these things fall under the same UI UX, as the case may be. So it's not only when you are giving a particular graphical material telling you that this is how the homepage should be, or this is how the registration page should be. Are you getting? So in most cases, you have to build without a UI UX designer. I don't know if you're getting me. In most cases, you have to build without having UI UX. So that's where we know if you know what you are doing. Because basically when I draw or design the interfaces and give to you, automatically I've done at least 40% of the work for you. Because you already have what you are looking at. Are you getting me? You already have what you are looking at. So this UI UX is a very crucial component of web design. It's very, very important. Because it has to do with how it will look, the behaviors. You know, a website has behaviors. There are websites that do misbehave. You don't know. Okay, you don't know. There are websites that do misbehave. So the behaviors, the functionality, and things like that. So when we continue, we say that the UX design focuses on the what? Overall feel. Mark that word, feel of the site, of the website, and how users do what? That is why it's called user experience. Are you seeing how we got that word? That's how we got that word. So, the feeling. And when we are talking about this feeling, there are too many things attached to the feeling. You can even be feeling angry while using the website. Hello? Yes, now. You can walk on a website, right? See, rubbish website, so that is it. So the feeling of the site and how users interact. When we talk about interaction, you see that you visited our websites to apply. And the website was asking you your full name, or your name, your middle name, or your last name, or surname. It asked you, what is it called? Your qualification, maybe date of birth, and things like that. Are you getting? So that has to do with the interactions. That has to do with what? The interaction. Ask you your phone numbers and things like that. So that has to do with interaction. So it's very important. It's very important. Very, very important. Okay, the next one there is the UI design, which has to do with what? Deals with elements of what? That users interact with. Now, this visual element can be the buttons. It can be the drop-down menus. The menus. Okay. There is this website I visited how many days ago? Is it Lagos State's website? Lagos State Unilag. Yeah, it should be Unilag. So I visited their website on my mobile phone, and the website on open, the menu opened. You know what the menu is, right? Yes, the menu just opened on its own and covered even the write-up of the website, of the homepage. I was even looking for a way to. I just shook my head. Say, see, they don't come. They don't come. Are you getting? So, the visual elements that users interact with, that menu shouldn't have opened on its own. It's ought not to. Yes. It's not supposed to open. It's supposed to be that when I need the menu, I will click on it, it will open. If it has sub-menus under, you click on the sub-menu, it opens. So, your menu opening on its own and covered the page is a red flag. If you do that kind of work for some people, you will go home. They don't give you your balance. You're not going to see your balance. So that is it. So it deals with the elements that users, the one they see and then interact with the buttons and things like that. There are buttons that you will click on submit button. You won't know that the thing has submitted since. And you'll be there clicking the button. And if there is no proper check from the back end of the portal or of the website, as the case may be, if there is no proper check, one form, you submit that form multiple times. I don't know if you've... yes. So you submit one form multiple times, which ought not to be. So sometimes they will, if it's something that they have to qualify and disqualify, they will say, because you submitted more than once. And who on earth, in his or her right senses, will fill a form and submit and still go back again to fill and submit and still go back again to fill and submit? I don't know if you're getting me. So, the interaction of your users should also be considered as a designer. As a creator, the interaction of your users should also be what? Should also be considered. Then to create a good user experience and user interface, you understand your target audience. When you for instance, the way church websites look like, or the way we create church websites, not the same way we create personal portfolio websites. Not the same way we create school websites. Are you getting me? Not the same way you create maybe foundation websites. So all these things, you must understand the target. What is this business doing? If you want to create a website for FMC, Abia State, they don't have good website. They have, I don't know what they have there. I don't know. You can check it. You can check it and see. I don't know what they have. So if you want to create a website for them now, you create a standard hospital-related website. Are you getting me? You cannot go and be creating church website for the FMC. You can't. You can't try that. Then the second one there is what? Create intuitive what? Navigation. During this navigation of a thing, I don't know why some people find it difficult sometimes to create good navigations within their project. I don't know why. Now, there are things that you will see on a website. You yourself as a user, you will be asking, sometimes you will hear that somebody wants to do something on Jam Portal and the person will be running from one cyber cafe to another. As if those cyber cafes, they have one particular license from Jam. It's not true. Just that by the reason of them using that Jam Portal over time, they have mastered what they did there. What Jam has there. Are you getting me? There is no much thing there. As far as you don't have the CBT center license from Jam, all those things people are running to cyber cafe to do, they can stay at home and do it. The only problem is Jam Portal. Very bad experience. Very, very bad experience. You can click on something else and something else will be happening. Simply means that their navigation has issue. So the third one now says what? Ensure fast loading times. Chairman, come over to this side. Not be like that, they take do. Look for a system that has network and attach yourself. Which one? Okay. The third one says, ensure fast loading what? There are websites you will visit and the website will load from now till tomorrow. You know the agree finish. Are you getting me? It will load from now till tomorrow. You even be embarrassed. You refresh the page, the thing will reload and start loading. It will load and load and load and load. You will think it's MTN that is doing it. You switch to LTE, very worst. Can't switch to Glo, no network. 9 mobile, you don't finish. So when you look at these things, you find out that these things will be an issue to a user. And as a creator, you are not creating a website to use it. Are you following? You are not creating a website to use it now. You are not creating, even if you have a business and you created a website for your business, you are not the one using it. It's meant for people to use. So when those people are finding it difficult to use, have you achieved your aim? You haven't achieved your aim. So it must have a what? Fast loading times. It must have a speed. So it must have a speed. It must load fast. Now the next one says what? Use clear and what? Content. Content. Use clear and concise content. Now there's a problem here. See here, there's a problem. And I will point it out when we get to this, to somewhere that has to do with this place, this content of a thing. Now, there are people that, when they are building a website, you visit the website, to open fine, and then you try to scroll down. Once you try scrolling down, like it will just be as if you disappeared from the website, because you will totally miss the concept, you totally miss the information you want to get from there. You totally miss the information you want to get from there. When they get to a particular section of the website, they will just write something there. You don't even know what that. You just come and see no small heading before nothing. They will just write something for you there. Just come and read and go. So when building, there are too many things you need to consider. And there are too many things you need to see ahead. There's what we call seeing through the wall. Is it possible for me to stand here and be seeing there? So it's a parable. So when we say you need to see through the wall, it simply means see ahead. Be proactive, right? So see ahead before the users start having an issue or having any issue with your product or with what you created. As a creator and as a professional, you need to see ahead of them. How will they interact with this? Will they be able to understand this? There are websites you visit, they will use grammar, suju everywhere. You will read from that till tomorrow. You will not like you will be confused totally. Hello. So you need to mind the content you are putting out. Now the last one there is what? Okay, yesterday evening I was with a colleague yesterday at home. So I was on my work space, work desk, and there is an app I'm working on. So I was checking different devices. Checked iPhone devices, both iPhone 14. Checked Galaxy, that food. Galaxy Z something food, 5 or thereabouts. I was checking it and he was there with me. So I was now like telling him that if I don't test this thing now and ship it out, the users or those who will use it, this app, they will have issues. Because if someone, iPhone 14, right? The screen is different from Galaxy Z Fold. Is it Fold 5 or something? That Galaxy that they used to do like this. So you can see that this Galaxy now looks like a tab. The screen is that of the tab size. And iPhone 14 has a normal screen. just like a normal screen for a mobile phone. And if the thing is working fine on that of the iPhone 14, I look at it there is very okay and neat. And I didn't check the tab size. Simply means that I'm preparing for war in future. If I fail to test now, because when I ship out that app, people who are using tabs will want to download and use. And once they download and use, they find out that it is not what? Responsive. Now, you see that some people will now say that this website is good on laptop. It's not good on phone. Are you getting? So it simply means that that website is not responsive. Because it ought to have adapted to your device, irrespective of the screen size. So it's under must. This one is under must. You must build something that is what? Responsive, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. This one now is under must. I don't like things that change or what. It's no longer an option. This one now is under must. You must make your designs, you must make your work to adapt to any screen size. We will also learn how to test, even without testing on the actual mobile phone. We will also learn how to test our designs, okay? Okay, this is a sample. This is a sample of what we are saying. Now look at this is a website. Look at by the left hand side, you can see the name of the company. And then you can see the logo. That's the logo there. There are clients that will give you one kind logo. Hello? When they give you one kind logo, you go and put it like that for them there. There will be an issue. So when they give you something to work on, you as a professional, that's why you need to learn this thing and understand. Even after these 6 weeks, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't what? Now who stop? Fuck up. Oh. Don't stop. Continue developing yourself. Because as like this morning now, there are new things that people has invented in the tech world already, like this morning. There are people launching new things, new tools, and things like that. So if you stop, now you do yourself. So when you look at this logo now, you find out that the logo is very neat. Right? Now you see a space from the logo. Then we have the menu items. We have the menu items. And this option, you can see how all of them are. Look at how all of them are. No one, they beat the other one. No one is colliding. Same space. Are you following? Look at it very well. And you see the last one there said more info. Simply means that once you click on this place or once you hover around here, it pops out or it drops down more information or more menus as the case may be. So when you look at this website, when you look at it very well, you find out that it has only how many colors? There is a problem. How many colors do we have there? Black and what? Okay. If you say three, let me see your hand. Three colors. Three. 1, 2. Okay, 3 people said 3. Okay. You, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 persons said 3. If you say 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 persons said 2. If you say one color, 1. If you know you say one, okay, nobody said one. Okay, you said one color. This man, the verse. Okay, we have 3 colors there. You have 3 colors. We have 3 colors. Someone said that white is what? Is background color. Is white not a color? Are you getting? I even look at the this thing there, the scooter. It has a color, white, as the case may be, and I'm even seeing something like orange, green. Okay, let's leave that. That one is a lemon. That one consigned them. But what I want to correct now is that white is not a color on a web page. White is a color on a web page. You know why? You can decide to change the color of your website. Are you getting me? You can certainly decide to change the color. Nobody will beat you. Are you getting? So white is a color. You count it. It's a color. It's what we have what we call parent color and child color. Parent color and child color. So white, parent color is the color that oversees all others, or color that appears more. The color that is housing. Some will call it base color, as the case may be. Are you getting? So that is it. So that white there as the background is a what? Is a color. The black. And then there is a red there. There is a red there. Can you see the red? So, and when you look at this place, that red now that they said was covered made it to be very obvious. It draws your attention. Yes, it's being highlighted. Just like that thing we saw during the principles, highlighting. You remember? So that element there, that link there is highlighted and is obvious. They made it in a way that it draws your attention because it's very important. Whatever thing you are doing, try to draw the attention of your visitors. If you don't draw the attention, you're on your own. So there are websites you visit, maybe all these market-related e-commerce websites. You visit, you want to buy something. You must buy something. Are you following? So that's it. So let it have this attractive look. Now you can look at the down part of it. You can see the buttons. Those things you are seeing in a button. That option, year 1 or 1 year, so some amount. Year 2 or 2 years, so some amount. Now watch. 1 year is correct. 2 years is not correct. It's not correct. It should be 2 years. Turning phone now on a flight mode. So that's 2 years is not correct. 3 years is not correct. So what the person should have done is, if you don't want to do it serially, what you now do is put X in bracket. Are you following? You put X in bracket. So if X is in bracket, it can be anywhere. Are you getting? If you don't want to do it serially, after writing 1 year, which is correct, and then you don't want to write 2 years and then S. If you want to make everybody collect them, put the S in bracket. And by doing so, you will be able to get to what, or the place you are heading to. So when you look at this, it's wrong. And nobody knows. So you see, add to cart. That is a button. Is what we call to action button. Call to action. And the short form is call to action. CTA button. Now, this call to action is when you order your users, your visitors, to do a particular thing. Are you getting? This is when you order your users. When I create, or for instance, after building this thing and I don't add that thing, or I go to somewhere and put, will you like to buy from us? You see that I never start self. Nobody will buy from you. So you tell them, you order them to do something. You call them an action. So that's what we call it, call to action. You see that the call to action says what? Add to cart. Some people will say, purchase now, or buy now, book now, or things like that. Are you following? So mark the word call to what? Action. When building a website, you need to have call to actions on it. Because that call to actions is what will be able to engage your users. You use it to also engage your users. Are you following? Okay. Any other thing? Okay, let me talk about the fonts used there. The way they presented the write-ups. Look at the mini what? Look at the down part of it. You see the price, right? Let's assume that this price is at the menu side. That is the header. Will you understand what they're saying there? Okay, you will understand. I see you can understand. Okay. You won't be able to understand what they're saying. Let's assume that you put your own price at the top. Once the person opens something, we see the price at the top. And the person now has to scroll down and then see the details and the picture of the item. And then go to up and see the price. And now come back and click add to cart. Wow. So you see how they presented it there. Now you see the description. That write-up you're seeing is called what? The description. Now, this description talks about this particular product, nothing else. It must not talk about any other place. Only that product. Only. Now, after talking about the product, it now went down. You will understand that the description has ended totally by the reason of that space. Are you following? Let's assume that after writing this description, and I put that add product protection offered what by extend. Now I now put it very close to that last line. So you make whatever thing you are doing to look good and appealing to your users. So that is it. Then let's continue. I don't know if I have any or anyone has a question. You can also visit this website as the case may be. Maybe after now. You can open it. I'm seeing someone. I think someone opened it. So one of the ways you learn, you see this web design, even other what is it called? Other tech field. One of the ways you learn quick is visiting what others has done. Not necessarily copying what they did. Because when you visit too many things or too many works that people has done, it will give you an insight. Hello? You see, insights in life, insights matters no matter what you are doing. In any field. Hello? So once you have that insight, the concept of what to do will come. The concept of what to do will come. So that is how these things work. So make sure you look at what others has done in the past. You can browse around. Let's assume I want to create an e-commerce website, just go online and browse Jumia, Konga, 3C Hub, Alibaba, Gigi, AliExpress, and things like that. You browse them. Now, what this thing does is that it gives you this focus. Okay, this is how this site should be. Because when you look at this e-commerce platform, there is always a particular flow that all of them follows. All of them. Even the one that they will create tomorrow. The e-commerce system they will create tomorrow will still follow that same principles and flow. And that's why I told us that you cannot create an e-commerce website in the name of church website. Hello? Unless more church in products, that they have products which can even come as maybe a sub to the main church website. But as far as each field, as far as website design is concerned, each field has its own pattern. Each field has its own pattern. So let's continue. Any questions so far? No question. Okay. I think it's now time to introduce you to WordPress. Now, what is WordPress? Now, WordPress is a popular open source content management system, CMS, that powers over what? How many percent? 40% of all websites on the what? What this thing is trying to let us know now is that these two that we are going to use to learn has already powered over 40%. So if something is powering over 40%, it simply means that it can be 45%, it can even be 50%. Are you getting? So it's powering over 40% of all websites you see on the internet. So let me now say this. About 80% of the blogs you see, the news websites you see, are built on WordPress. About 80% of them are built on WordPress. About 80% built on WordPress. So that is to show you the extent this tool has gone. There are other tools, like I think Joomla, and then which other one? There are other tools, other CMS tools. No, Bootstrap is a framework. Yes, it's a framework. It's a CSS framework. Yeah. So there are other tools that can be used. You can even use Canva. You know Canva? You've heard of Canva, right? Good. You can use Canva to even design a website. It shock you? It shock you now. You see? You see? You are using Canva, and you don't even know that Canva has moved on. You don't know. You see? And you are here. So, Canva is not only... Yes, you can also use Figma to design a website. So, the only thing there is that there are functionalities that you won't get there, because these things are called designing tools. And these designing tools is especially graphical. But WordPress as a content management system is a system. On WordPress you can design. And after designing, you add call to actions and things like that. You can send emails from your WordPress website. People can fill forms and submit and things like that. Are you getting the difference now? So you can go to Canva or Figma. We have the one we call Just a Mind. It's another app. You have even Photoshop. You can use Photoshop to design a website. Even CorelDRAW, you can use it to design too. Yes, you can use CorelDRAW to design. Oh, you don't know these things. Oh, wow. So these things, you can use them to design and then bring them out for a designer to look at. For a web designer, we have graphics designer and then web designer. A graphic designer cannot claim a web designer, even if he or she can be able to design a website using Canva or using Figma or using Photoshop or using CorelDRAW. He or she cannot occupy the position of a what? Okay, it's not possible. But you as a web designer, learn basic principles of graphic design. Now. Learn basic what? Principles of graphic design. Now, this will help you to be balanced as a professional. As I am now, by the grace of God, I can do most of my graphical works. I can decide to change the logo they gave to me. Often I do that. Often I would change it and send to the client for them to see. Once they approve it, we go ahead. That doesn't mean that the official logo has been changed. No. The thing is, for that particular work, that's your official logo cannot suit it. Are you getting? So that's how this thing works. So you must learn some of these graphical principles. Now, as we move ahead, WordPress as a popular, known, and open source content management. The meaning of that open source means that it is free. The meaning there is that it is free. Are you getting? It is free to use. You can go there and do whatever thing you want to do. So it's free to use. The only thing is, how good are you on it? How good are you on it? And it powers 40% of all the websites on the internet. Someone who was asking if it's web development or web design. Rest in Jesus' name. So let's continue. And the first point we have there is what? It offers what? Easy content creation. Now, you don't need to go to the code aspect of WordPress to do what you want to do. Hello? You don't need to go to the code aspect. There are parts meant for code, and there is always a disclaimer, or what will I call it, a caution there, telling you, do not do anything if you don't know what you are doing here. You will see it when we get to that place. You getting me? So, and the second point, most things you will need to do has been created by other creators. Are you following? That's why I say that you need to be good. You need to be good. Because, okay, there is a website I'm going to view here. This website, I worked on it. That should be around 2020. And I managed the guy's server till last year. Till last year before he took it off. So what I'm trying to say is, when you visit that website, you can hardly believe that that website is done on WordPress. You will think that the website was done with one kind coding, something. But it's not that way. It's because the people who did the work knows what they are doing, and they are good. That's the major reason why it is the way it is. Trying to open the website. City Celeb. Just a minute. Okay, look at this. This is a blog, a lifestyle blog. You can see that. This is a lifestyle blog where the owner or the company, where they blog about celebrities and people like that. The biography and things like that. The background of the person and other things. Now, this website was highly customized. The reason why I use the word highly customized is someone who doesn't know how to find out the technologies used for any work will not understand easily, mark that word, easily, that this site was built on WordPress. Are you getting? The site it was built on WordPress, and this site has, each day has about how many visitors? Thousands. It has 1,000 visitors. So you can never know or understand that it was built on WordPress unless if you know how to find out. You can with it. You can see the arrangement. You can see how the content are being segmented. So now there is a common thing that I don't know if others are seeing on this website. The common thing, the images being used are high resolution, high quality images. So also when doing a work, try making use of possibly good images. I don't want to my image as spoil. Are you getting? So if the image doesn't look good or sharp, please request for another image or source for another image. Are you following? So when you look at it, another thing is when you look at the coloring, you will find out that the flow maintained a given pattern, a particular pattern. Can you see anything? The flow of this color pattern maintain a particular flow. Nothing like color riots. Put on green, put on purple, put on this. You can see. So I'm using left. You can see. And this is the search bar. Now, another thing there is, not all the websites requires a search bar. Hello? When you are doing a website that people has to look for something, that's when you put a search bar. Because the search bar helps the user to easily locate what he or she is looking for. So what this search bar does is that once you enter something there, it takes you or it brings out anywhere that particular keyword. For instance, if you should type the video here now, it will go and fetch, it's called fetching. It will go and bring all the posts that has the video written on it for you to see. So it will list all of them out, helping you to do what? To locate the actual one you are looking for. The same thing goes with e-commerce website. When you look at e-commerce websites, you find out that there is always a search menu, even with a filter. A filter that has to do with what you are looking for. Is it male or female wears? is it computer accessories? Is it this one? All those kind of, what is it called? Filters. Filter by category, by keywords, by sub categories, by topics, and things like that. Are you getting? So you also consider the kind of websites you are building, and then determine the flow of it, or what to give to your clients. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Yes, ask your question. On this? Or do you want to ask? Yes, go ahead. Ask your question. Yes, be audible. Good. You are very far from here. What will happen is, remind me this question once we start creating something on WordPress. Now, WordPress as a company is running dual, will I call it dual project or what? We have WordPress.org and we have WordPress.com. Now, the difference, how you easily know, is the one called open source is the .org, while the one called the paid one, that's the one I'm talking about, is .com. And that .com, the logo is blue. I'm going to show you now. Please, check here an external keyboard here. Where me an system, easy. Where this side? Where? Now look at. You see that the first one they brought out is the paid version, which is the premium. Now this one, they host it for you. You pay them. They host it for you and do everything for you. But you have to pay. Here. Are you following? And the logo, mark this. The logo is what? Blue. And then the open source is the one by the right. The logo is black. I'm going to open them for you to see. Okay, this is the open source here. Now, these are the difference. Now you can see. Set products, WordPress hosting and thereabouts, and things like that. Look at this other one. You see how this one is? This one said download and install it what? Yourself. And at the top, there is no sign in here. What we have here is get started with WordPress. That's what we have here. Now when you look at this thing very, very well, you find out that this place or this site is quite different from this one. Are you getting? So the common difference, or one of the things you can use to find out if this one is the paid version or this one is the open source, is the logos. The paid version, the logo is blue, while the open source version, the logo is what? Black. I know why I'm emphasizing on this, and thank God you pointed that. So the logo is black, the one we are using. And if you look at it there, it said download and do what? install it yourself. So it simply means that whatever thing you are doing here, you are in charge. Whatever thing you are doing here, you are in charge. Once you do click on download, it downloads. You do your installation and you begin your designing. Start whatever thing you want to do. And after that, after building, you have to launch it. Now, that's when we talk about hosting and domain name. You've heard of domain name before, right? Hello. You know about domain name before. If you haven't heard of domain name before, let me see your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ogola, 8, 9. 9 persons. Domain name. Any other person? Any other person now? Okay, no other person. No problem. You will understand when we get to this thing. Now, after downloading and installing and building whatever thing you want to build, you have to get a domain name. Getting a domain name is the address to your website. And that address is when you hear google.com, wordpress.com or .org, chibikonyeji.com, what is it called? moanyu.com, .edu.ng, and things like that. Are you getting? So that's when you hear of this domain of a thing and then hosting, which you have to now pay. Hello? You have to pay to purchase a domain name or to secure a domain name. And another thing is you have to pay to get a hosting services, which is a space where you will host your website. Because if you don't host your website, if your website is just on your system, not only you get them. Anybody who want to use them, go come to your house or your office, can't use your website on your system. So once you host your website on the cloud, anywhere the person is, the person will be able to do to access using your domain name. A user will be able to access your website anywhere he or she is using what? So your domain name serves as the address. Just for an instance, some people were asking, from gate to this place, how will I get to here? Are you getting? So what domain name is to a website is the address. It takes you directly to the space where that website lives or where the website is being hosted. And there are too many technical stuffs that happen in the background for that to take place or for that to happen. So, any question? Any question? What do you want to ask? Be audible. No, I said the .org, the .org, WordPress.org is the open source version, while WordPress.com is the paid version. They host it for you there. They host it for you. You only need to get a domain name. They host it for you because you are paying them. Are you getting? So both your security, whatever, and things like that, they'll be the one to provide for you. Are you getting the difference now? So this other one is an open source. The meaning is that thing they have there, you can have it in your system or at your own disposal. You can deal with it. You can use it the way you want. You can customize it the way you want. I don't know if you're getting the difference now. So it being an open source simply gives you the right, a license, because any open source you see always comes with a license, an open source license. So it has a license, or it has given you a license for you to do anything you want to do on your own. Are you getting? So you can go to anywhere and host it. Go to anywhere and buy your domain name. You know, consign them. You get the difference now. So that's how these things are. I think our time is almost up. Okay. The third bullet we have there said what? It must be what? SEO what? Friendly structured. Now, if your website is not well structured, indexing it on Google and other search engines will be very hard. Are you getting me? If what you did has too many issues and complications, for you to be able to submit it to Google, because if you don't submit your website to Google, people won't be able to search. For instance, now what I did was I entered on my search bar, I entered WordPress. I did not put wordpress.com or .org. I just entered WordPress. What happened is that Google as a search engine will bring out any place that it has WordPress for me. You understand how this thing works? So that search engine this thing optimization now is very important. Unless if you are building a confidential website that you don't want anybody to search. And even the way the internet works is that sometimes Google bots might even see your website and crawl it even without you submitting your website to Google. It normally happens. You will know that your site is already on Google. You will know. Are you getting? So it's very, very important that whatever thing you are building follows the structure of search engine optimization. Because you as a designer will design and deliver. The users are the ones to use, right? And if someone is searching for your product or is searching for a site you built for a client and they couldn't see, and they will keep on, your client will be disturbing you. People are not seeing my website. You will tell them, go and enter something.com. That is not it. Are you getting? When we talk about searching a website, it has to appear on a search engine. We have not only Google, we have, what is it called? Yahoo, Bing. We have Yahoo. We have some other search engines. So whatever thing you are doing, it must follow that search engine optimization friendly structure. And the next one there, which happens to be the last one, is what? Regular updates and strong what? So Google has a very large community. Very, very large community. Very large. You know what we mean by community, right? Community is that they have where they meet, a meeting point. People who are using Google, both those who created, the ones creating teams, those creating plugins, the developers, so, and things like that, and people like that, they all have where they meet. And if you go to that google.org, I think you should see a link there for the community. You should see the community link from that place. So they all have where they meet. So you as a designer, you have to go and have an account, a forum. It's called forum or something. So have an account also or as well. So that, number one is you will have regular updates. Both updates from the community and updates on the software. Because when you look at that place that it's asks us to download, you find out that WordPress is on 6.6.2 now, or thereabout. 6. What? No, the stable. Stable version there is 6.6.2. That's the stable version. Are you getting? That beta version is still under test now. You get? So, this one now is the stable version. And this stable version has recommended tools, recommended technologies that we need to use. Now, one of them there, when you look at the down part, it says recommended what? PHP 7.4 or greater. And MySQL version what? 8.0 or MariaDB 10.5 or what? Greater. So always pay attention as well to some recommendations. Are you getting? Because since we are on WordPress 6.6.2 and they are recommending these tools and the versions, it simply means that if you are using lesser, you might be having issues. Are you getting? Because what updates does is that updates improves and also drop. Hello? There are features you might be using previously, maybe during your 1.0, 1.2, you find out that those features you need to drop some, or you need to increase, or you need to decrease, or you need to improve, and things like that. So during the versioning or during your version control, you need to be mindful of the versions and the numbering. Are you following? If I should get WordPress 5.0 now, and I'm running it on PHP 8, it will not work. There will be some issues. There will be some issues. Certainly, there will be some issues. Are you getting? So this is how some of these things work. Let's bounce back so that we can finish up with today's something. Okay, we have setting up a local development environment. Before installing WordPress, we need to set up a local And we said a local development environment is where we can build our website on our before taking it or on for others to do what? Just like what I was saying previously. Are you getting? And for us to do this, in this case, we will use what? XAMPP. That's the right pronunciation. XAMPP, which provides 1, Apache, 2, MySQL, and 3, PHP. And all necessary. And all necessary for running WordPress locally. So what this thing is trying to say that there is a tool, there is a software we need on our system to enable us run WordPress locally. Are you following now? And the name of that tool is what? XAMPP. And he said that XAMPP is one of the many local web development environment. So it's one of them. We have WAMP. We have Laravel something. Lara Local or something. Lara Host or thereabouts. There are many other ones. But we are using XAMPP because of how user-friendly it is. And less headache. Less headache. And for us to download it, we have to go to what? I don't know if some of us are following me. We have to go to where? ApacheFriends.org/what? Then go to your system now. What happened to your own? Okay. It's an update. Okay, stay here. Stay, don't worry. There is something I'm looking at. I'm looking at somebody who will do something for me now. I was expecting some people to just go to your search bar and type XAMPP. And some people are still entering this thing under must. We must go here. You see the problem? Yeah? So what you just need to do, go to your search this thing. And you can even write, just type XAMPP. It will bring, the first this thing it will pop out is the words. Yes, now. And you want to make sure you type what is on the screen. When we've told you, we've given you the name already. Chairman, what are you browsing? Please browse accordingly. Now we have to download. What do you say? Yeah. The version did what? No. Now, let me explain something. Look. Each software has the kind of way they did their own versioning. Are you getting? Now, XAMPP is on what? No, XAMPP is on 8.2.12. That's the highest distance now. Are you following? Now, something happened. Someone is asking me that, okay, it's telling me that the version now does not correspond with that of WordPress. Now, let me answer this very quickly. Look at that versions. You will see 8.0.30/ PHP 8.0. Now, the meaning of this thing is that this XAMPP, the PHP version it has, is what? 8.0.30. And if you go downwards, you will see 8.125, 8.212. Are you getting? And what we need to host our WordPress system, connect to this one. Cancel it and connect it again. Where am I, guy? Where am I, guy? Please help me connect this. Connect. Okay. And with us. Now, what we need to run our WordPress system, which is 6.6.2. What we need is PHP 7.4 or greater. I don't know if you're getting it. So it can be PHP 7.5. It can be PHP 8.0. It can be PHP 8.1. It can be 8.2. Are you following now? So as far as it's greater than 7.4, are you getting? So I don't know if you are cleared. Are you cleared now? So what that WordPress 6.6.2 demanded or recommended is that we run on an environment that has PHP 7.4 up. But now we want to download our XAMPP, and we find out that the version it has is 8.1 and 8.2. So we can go ahead and download. Are you getting? Because they said or greater. So download. Let's download 8.1. Download 8.1. If it's, let me see, what happened? It gave you this one. Click on download now. Look at it here now. Come here. This is it here now. See, say your download will start automatically. And if it didn't, if the thing no start, click here. Just click there. Okay, it went to that page. Once it opens that source, this thing, click on download. Anyone downloading already? It should download automatically. Is your own downloading? Good. Download 8.1. Your own is what? Go to this place now. You should have used Chrome. Are you getting? You should have, if you don't know how to use H, use Chrome. That H sometimes can be misbehaving. All of us are downloading now, right? Huh? What's going on? It's downloading now. Look at it. Check it. Click on it. Click on it. It's downloading. This thing is not fast. This thing is not fast. Now what is it? You now don't go carry our data there. Browse Google. Wait. You are not downloading the something. What we ask you to do is these things you are opening and opening and opening and opening. Oh Lord. Mercy for senators data. Okay, just type ZAMP. Your own is downloading. Who owns this system? Touch the mouse for me. What? Signing in? Why are you signing in again? We don't need to sign in anything. You're not signing in your email now. Click here. Look at, don't sign in. Skip. It's already open now. Look at this thing now. Scroll up. Look at download ZAMP. Click on this place. 2. Yes. Please, if your own is done, let me know. What? Allow it now. It's loading. Allow it. It's loading. Are you downloading it again? Leave it. What's the issue? Your own is downloading now. Click here. It's downloading. What about your own? It's downloading. Okay. Okay, if your own is not downloading yet, let me know, please. Your own is not? Your own. Check for her. Your own is doing what? It's downloading now. Download. Let me see. What's going on now? Which LA network? Okay. Click on that network. Let me see the one you are connected to. No. Leave that Senator Akobundu Training Center. Connect to that one. after today. So what you do is, please go and enroll so that okay, you are from Abia too. Okay. So let's shift it to Saturday so that we'll be able to, because there are people who are here who are working and things like that. Are you getting? So we're doing it on Saturday. Will give us enough time and age. No, it will be later. So we are summarizing, please. We continue from where we stop now. Now, this exact place now. Your own refuse to, right? And we'll fix it. We'll fix it. So please, any question? I will communicate with us. Continue from this. At the same time, if you know that you will be coming for physical training, note your system. Note your system. So once you come, you go to your system. The place you are sitting today, you continue to sit till the end of this program, unless otherwise. I think we are good to go. Right? And please, don't worry, leave it. We will fix those things. And we'll fix them. No. No. You start with your system. So what I will do on our group, I will drop our course material on the group for week 1. That will enable you to have access to whatever thing we have done and what we're going to do subsequently. You get? So what you now do is the exact same thing we did. Download your XAMPP and install on your system. Are you getting? So any other question? Please be audible while asking your question. You don't have
phone.
Those that don't have phone or system. You have a system, you don't have phone. And use your system. Now system will they use. Please ask one by one, please. Yes, you. No, it's not possible. If you don't have system, go and borrow. Oh yeah, please. Now the day is over. Yes, only Monday and Saturdays. Okay, yes. Saturday will begin by 1 Saturday. Yes. What do you say? Yes, now 1 in the, you want to do? So please. We determined
that be enough to learn.
Yes, it will be enough. It will be enough. No, we are not coming Wednesday, please. Yes, 1 is okay. RPG.
No refreshment, no.
If you go outside, you go buy pure water.